Hey guys, welcome to week 2, workout number 1. So today we're going to be doing an upper body workout. So let's get it. Hey guys, welcome to week 2 or phase 2 of this workout program. So today we're going to be working on our split, which is upper lower, break, upper lower. So we're going to be working out 4 times this week, and we're going to have the rest day in the middle. So it's like 2 days work, rest, and then 2 days. So to start off our workout today, we're going to be doing upper body. So our first exercise we're going to be doing is Incline Barbell Bench Press. So with this exercise, what we want to focus on is, again, you want to focus on shoulder blades down and back, not extended, like protracted, and not shrugging, right? That's a common mistake, right? We want to, like as I mentioned before, we want to keep our shoulder blades down and back as we bench. And again, with this one, we want to take a grip on the bar about shoulder width or slightly outside of shoulder width, right? If we come too close, then that's more of a close grip bench press, which is more emphasis on our triceps. But right now we're trying to work on our chest. So also, I want to mention when we're benching, when you line up with the bar, so like when you lay back on the bench, you want to kind of see the bar at about eye level line, right? And this goes hand in hand, incline bench and like flat bench, is you want to have the bar about eye level to you when you're laying down. And once again, when we come down, we want to come about to your nipple level, but with incline bench, sometimes it can be a bit higher than your nipple level, and then press up. Another cue I want to throw at you guys this week for benching is you want to kind of like imagine like you're pushing your hands inwards, right? So a good way to remember this is kind of like if you try grabbing like your desk chair or something and try squeezing it, right? Try pushing it together and squeezing as hard as you can, right? You want to apply that same concept when you're benching, right? Even though your hands are not like this, they're more like that, right? So your hands are like in. You still want to imagine like you're squeezing together while you go down and up. And I know it can be like a difficult cue to understand and to learn, but once you get more familiar with the movement, you can try applying it and seeing if it works for you. And it's really helpful for me to focus on your chest when you're doing this exercise. Yeah. So another thing I forgot to mention is you want to keep your legs flat on the ground, as with all benches and exercises. Feet firmly planted on the ground and core engaged. And with this one, again, we want to have a slight arch in our lower back, but not a super arch like you see in some powerlifters when they bench. So have a small arch in your back, core engaged, legs planted, shoulder blades down and back, bar to your nipple line and up. And also with benching, I want to mention, I don't think I mentioned this previously, is that you want to like pick a spot on the ceiling and just like stare at it, right? Because sometimes I even get into the habit of kind of like people track the bar, right? So when they're benching, what I mean by track the bar is their eyes follow the bar down and follow. But the negative effect of that is that your neck is always, you're kind of like slightly moving your neck, right? So the issue is you're no longer having a neutral spine or neutral neck, which isn't the best for you. So you want to try to like keep your eyes on like a point in the ceiling, right? So if you're benching and you're looking up, right? If you see a poster on the wall, if you see a point on the ceiling, or if you have a ceiling fan, right? Just keep your eyes on that as a point of reference while you're benching, right? As opposed to tracking because you end up moving your head. So those are just a few pointers you want to keep in mind while doing the incline barbell bench press. So our next exercise in this workout are one-arm dumbbell rows. So with this exercise, we're going to be grabbing one dumbbell, or you could grab 2 dumbbells, and we're going to be grabbing a flat bench. So what you want to do is you want to post up on the bench, meaning you bend one knee and you put it on the bench, and then you pretty much like stiff arm, like if you guys know football, like stiff arm. So pretty much just extend your arm straight and put it on the bench. So what you guys want to do is you can either put it straight on the bench with your palm like that, or you can grab the outside of the bench, kind of like a hook on the outside of the bench. It's whichever feels more comfortable to post up on the bench with your like opposite hand. So with the hand we want to row, we're going to grab the dumbbell, and we're going to do the same concept I told you guys before, but this time we're doing one arm with the protracting the arm, retracting the arm, and pulling. And I personally actually find one arm exercises, it's a lot easier to learn the concept of protract, retract, and pull, because you're just focusing on the one arm, protract, retract, pull, right? And with this one, we're going to be focusing on pulling to about our belly button level or about our hip level. So we're putting the dumbbell kind of like beside your hip, belly button area, and squeezing your back, right? So your shoulder blade, imagine like you're kind of squeezing your shoulder blade there. So another cue is that a lot of people just think of pulling the thing back, right? Just kind of like you're pulling a lawnmower or something, right? Just pulling, right? But you want to focus on actually like your lat pulling and then coming in. So it's like pulling, coming in. I know that may be a bit of a confusing, that one in particular. It took me a while to understand that one, but that's a cue I like to think about when I do one arm dumbbell rows. What we also want to focus on is keeping our core engaged, because if you don't, then you're kind of like, you can either be like crunched over and then your back will be hunched, or it'll just be like a loose core and you won't have a solid foundation to row off of. So then once you do all on one side, we're gonna be switching to the other side, and then you apply the same concept, the stiff arm, straight back, protract, retract, pull the dumbbell to about your waist level, and that's the one arm dumbbell row. Our next exercise for this workout is gonna be machine flies, or like a pec deck machine is what sometimes they call it. And this machine, it's the one we did the rear lateral raises on, the reverse lateral raises machine one. It's the exact same machine. You just change the pins to like the normal setting, and it's pretty much just the fly motion, right? So with this, the machine I had at my gym, it was kind of low, so I was kind of bringing it here. But you want to find a machine that allows you to kind of bring your arm parallel to your body, as opposed to lower or higher. You want to set it right about shoulder height. With this one, as I mentioned in last week's video, about imagine like you're bringing your elbows together, right? Because I see a lot of people at the gym, they constantly still do it, is they, like, I'm not trying to like put them down, but it's just something I see and I'm trying to tell you guys to improve for yourselves, right? So instead of instead of like punching your hands together like that, imagine driving your elbows. So the main difference there, if you're trying to understand that, when I say drive your elbows, is to not, instead of like bending your arms when you do these flies, keep them straight. Instead of the bend, keep it straight, right? And that's what you want to hold the whole motion, right? Straight arms the whole way, as much as you can, right? You can have a little bit of a bend. It's good for your elbows and it's good in general. A little bit of a bend and there. But you imagine like you're bringing your elbows together, right? Of course they're not going to touch like that, but you bring them as close as you can, about shoulder width, and then back down, right? Our next exercise we're going to be doing is a curl to an overhead press. So we're going to be grabbing a pair of dumbbells that you can comfortably curl and press over your head, right? And that's the key point, right? Of course, a lot of people can, maybe you can, I'm not sure, but some people can press a lot of weight, but they may not necessarily be able to curl that same weight, right? So you want to pick a weight that you're able to do both movements kind of like fluently together. So pick a lighter weight is what I'm trying to say. And for this motion, we're pretty much curling, and then you're doing a twist and push up. Come down slowly, back down, curl, back up. Right, so the reason I like this one is because it combines biceps and shoulders in one motion, right? So as opposed to doing two separate exercises, you get two in one, right? So it just gets your workout done faster, and it's a kind of a fun exercise, I find. It's different than like the generic just curling, right? It's kind of like it's boring. So it's just something there to switch it up a little bit for you guys. It's the curl and press, right? And what I want you guys to focus on as well is core tight, right? Because if you do this and this, right, when you push above your head, if your core is not tight, it's not good for you, right? You may sway, you may be swaying a lot, or you may be tilting to one side or the other, right? So you don't have a solid base, right? So keep your core tight, glutes engaged, curl and press. So just a small review: core engaged, feet planted on the ground, head neutral, curl, press, pick a weight that's not too heavy, and that's the overview for the curl and overhead press with dumbbells. Hey everyone, so for our next exercise, this is a tricep exercise, and we're going to be doing tricep overhead rope extensions. So with this one, we're going to go to a cable station and set the pin to about like middle low of the machine. And we're going to be attaching a rope attachment to it. And what we're doing is we pretty much grab the rope and you kind of like twist and bring it behind your head, right? And for this one, like people have different opinions about the overhead rope extension. My opinion and what you should be doing is you should have your elbows at about 45-degree angle. And what I mean by that is not to tuck your elbows close to your head, but not to flare them to the outside. Not to tuck them, not to flare them, but a 45-degree angle and extend. And it's the optimal position for health for your joints, right? And it gets a lot of tension through your triceps, right? Flaring it is not good for your elbow health, and it's just the way I want you guys to do it in this specific program is with the 45-degree angle elbows, not tucked, 45, right? And what I like to do in this specific exercise too, I told you guys before, is a split stance, right? So for the split stance is one foot in front of the other, and just helps you with the balance and control, right? If you pick a weight that you maybe can't control, split stance helps you because it gives you a firm, solid base, right? If you don't have that base, you may sway, right? It happens often, right? If you don't take a split stance, you're not as like solid, your core is not as solid, right? So make sure if you do pick a heavier weight, or if you want to just have a more solid base and a solid core, take a split stance, right? It's a lot more helpful than taking 2 feet side by side, right? So that's our tricep exercise, and that's called the overhead tricep rope extension. Hey everyone, so our next exercise we're going to be doing is the lat pull down, but this time we're going to be doing it with a different attachment. So you see in our last videos, we used the bar that was like a straight bar, or sometimes it could be the straight bar that has like the little like the things on the side, right? But for this one, we're going to be using the V grip. It's that one that it's like 2 handles, and it's like a neutral grip, right? It's a neutral grip that has like an attachment there. So we're going to be using that attachment. So it's the same concept as I told you guys before, like the protract, retract, and pull. And we're pulling once again to our nipple line, or like our upper chest, and we're keeping our core engaged but not crunched, right? So we're standing up tall, we're not crunching, but we're not hyperextending or not like arching our lower back too much. And with this one too, we want to focus on squeezing our shoulder blades. So when we protract, retract, and we're pulling to our chest, that's when we squeeze our shoulder blades. So like once we come down, squeeze the shoulder blades back and down together, right? So it's pretty much very similar to what I told you guys before with the lat pull down. It's just using a different attachment, and it's a different handle as opposed to having an overhand grip or doing a neutral grip. So that is our last exercise of this workout. Hey guys, we're now done our first workout of week number 2. So that is day number 1. We have one more day and then a rest day. So rest day is coming up. Don't worry guys, you may be sore, you may not be sore, but we have a rest day coming up in 2 days, so don't be worried for that. So get ready for workout number 2.